Imagine your system has been hit by a really bad weather event. You're in full recovery. You're under the gun to get things back to normal as fast as you possibly can. And the big temptation is to simply replace all of the damaged stuff with identical options. Or consider doing routine maintenance, managing systems at the end of their useful life. And once again, the temptation is to replace the existing system with the same old stuff. This replacement in kind strategy doesn't consider the effect of climate change. How did the changing climate contribute to the system's demise? Sure, we get things back to normal, but the climate risk remains. And when a similar event happens down the road, the system will fail in the same way. I call this inertial paralysis, sticking to the current path because change takes too much time and too much energy. By the end of this video, you'll understand the causes of this roadblock, and you'll also have a few tips on how to move forward on your journey towards climate resilience. When systems fail due to a weather event, services are reduced or they grind to a complete halt. There's intense public scrutiny. Budgets are stressed. We just want to get things back to normal as soon as we can. And the fastest thing we can do is grab a design off the shelf and just rebuild the old system. And for sure, that's fast. And it definitely reduces the pressure and takes us out of the spotlight. But this is not necessarily the best thing we can do. Often, we neglect fundamental questions. Why did this system fail in the first place? Was the weather event unprecedented? Can we expect more of the same? When we don't ask these questions, we're leaving ourselves truly exposed. And when the next event happens, we find ourselves under the gun yet again, and the pressure is even worse. The public wants answers. Why are we here back in the same old bind? Didn't we already fix this? Where did the money go? Or consider planning and maintenance, where we do refurbishment and replacement using the same old standards and specs. While the systems may still comply with the standards themselves may not have caught up with the current state of climate. So the new system is already exposed to climate change risks. And even worse, since we haven't even asked the questions, we don't know we're exposed. So what can we do about this roadblock? First, this is where climate risk assessment truly shines. Organizations that do risk assessment and include climate risk analysis in day-to-day work just don't fall into this trap. They understand their climate risks, and when bad things happen, they're prepared. Knowledge is power. Second, just get started, both in big and in small ways. Where budgets are tight, work on the low-hanging fruit. Update procedures and training programs. Build an organizational understanding of the impact of climate. Then, when we're planning, incorporate that awareness into design, procurement, and construction. Finally, be prepared. Build an inventory of climate-ready alternatives, and these can be implemented even during emergencies. When under pressure, don't be forced to go back to the old designs. We can go forward with newer and more climate-ready fixes. All of this demands awareness. Replacement in kind should never be your default position. Often, this is just the unfortunate outcome of failing to be prepared. And for sure, it's hard work. It requires budgetary support and organizational mandates. But when it's done, we can respond quickly with climate-resilient options, even when we're operating under intense public scrutiny and time pressure. Thanks for joining me today. If you would like to learn more about climate resilience, you can check out some of our other videos. I've provided links above. Until next time.